Imagine a client sitting across from you, staring at a complex project plan. They just shake their head and say, "There is an 80% chance this is going to fail." Most coaches instinctively treat that percentage as an objective fact. They begin hunting for variables and asking questions to determine if that 80% is the true probability of the outcome. This search for truth often leads to analysis paralysis. Both the coach and the client end up circling the problem, indefinitely delaying action while they wait for missing data to provide the clarity they think they need. When uncertainty is framed as a fixed external obstacle, the client is forced into a passive stance. They become a passenger to their project, unable to move forward until the environment provides a level of certainty that rarely exists. To break this cycle, we have to look at how we define uncertainty. The 20th century Italian mathematician Bruno de Finetti built his career on a specific, radical claim. Probability does not exist in the physical world. Consider a weather forecast predicting a 40% chance of rain. Most people interpret this as a physical property of the sky, as if the atmosphere contains a measurable quantity of 40% likelihood. In reality, that number represents a reasoned belief. It is a judgment constructed by a person using specific models, historical data, and current observations. Another expert using different data might arrive at 55%. Neither is true in an objective sense. De Finetti's theory redefines probability as a measure of confidence. It is a subjective estimate that answers a single question. Given the information I currently have, how strongly should I expect a particular outcome? This shifts the entire meaning of a client's claim that they face an 80% failure rate. That 80% is an internal estimate built from how a client weights past setbacks, unverified assumptions, and missing information. Because this estimate is constructed, a coach can help revise these inputs to arrive at a different calculation. The coach's role is to facilitate an audit of this internal math, helping the client refine their perspective rather than chasing impossible certainty. Tactically, this begins by forcing the client to quantify their vague doubt into a hard percentage. Assigning a specific number transforms a nebulous cloud of fear into a defined estimate. Once a number is named, it can be explored, measured, and challenged. The coach then unpacks the data set behind that number by asking which specific historical experiences are informing the current belief. Often, this audit reveals that the client is relying on a very small sample size. They tend to let one or two extreme negative outliers, like a single high-profile failure, skew the entire average of what they believe is possible. Exposing these skewed or outdated data points breaks the illusion that the current prediction is an inevitable reality. Next, the coach asks the client to identify the specific external conditions or resources that would improve their probability of success. This forces a shift from passive evaluation to active goal setting. The client begins to focus on the levers they can pull to move the percentage in their favor. Finally, the coach trains the client to decouple the quality of their decision-making from the quality of the final outcome. This matrix shows decision and outcome quality are separate. A perfectly reasoned decision can still yield a poor outcome due to external factors. Evaluating the thinking process reduces the fear of failure, allowing the client to make well-reasoned bets. Probabilistic coaching builds the client's capacity to dynamically update their beliefs as they encounter new evidence. This adaptability empowers them to act with clarity and ownership, even when the future remains unknown.